The Sneaky Kitten. As Caspian was crossing the street, a frisbee sailed by. "Where is the owner?" he asked. "Maybe it blew off a roof," said Grandpa. He jumped to catch it. He missed. A breeze caught the frisbee and propelled it into a tree. "You know what to do," said Grandpa. Caspian smiled. He remembered the hot chocolate socks Grandpa had given him for his unbirthday. He ran to his bedroom. The socks were in his treasure drawer. He put them on. He dashed to the kitchen. The breakfast dishes were still on the table. Caspian always left a little cocoa in his cup. He wanted to be ready if he was called to adventure. Caspian grabbed the mop. He would need that for steering. Then he picked up his cup and poured the warm cocoa on his socks. Caspian's feet lifted off the floor. He sat on the mop and glided out the door. Grandpa waved to him from the base of the tree. Caspian soared up through the branches toward the frisbee. He reached. He missed. "Mew," said a kitten on the branch below him. "That kitten's stuck," said Caspian. "Good name," said Grandpa. Caspian thought, stuck doesn't belong in a tree. He scooped the kitten onto the mop handle beside him. The kitten snuggled. As soon as he neared the ground, Stuck leapt from the mop and ran towards the lake. Caspian followed. "This kitten does dangerous things. Good thing I'm here to rescue it," he thought. Stuck climbed onto a log bobbing by the shore. The log drifted out onto the water. Caspian flew out over the water. He caught hold of the kitten and placed it on the mop handle again. As soon as they were over land, Stuck leaped onto a wall. The wall ran along the backyards of houses. The kitten ran along the wall. Caspian followed. Stuck ran back to the tree where the frisbee was still stuck in the branches. Grandpa was still waiting down below. The kitten climbed the tree. "Do you think Stuck wants to play frisbee?" Caspian asked. "Throw the frisbee and find out," said Grandpa. Caspian flew up to the frisbee and tried to grab it. It slipped to the side. Caspian aimed his mop deeper into the branches. The kitten leapt atop the frisbee. Caspian reached for the frisbee again. Again, it slipped out of reach. A bubble grew atop the frisbee, covering the kitten. The kitten waved its tail. The frisbee zoomed back and forth between Caspian and Grandpa, with the kitten riding on top. "I've never played frisbee without touching before," said Caspian. "Stuck has a new way to play," said Grandpa. "Cool, huh?" "I didn't get the frisbee and I didn't rescue the kitten," said Caspian. "Do you have fun anyway?" asked Grandpa. Caspian smiled and nodded. The frisbee flew in a circle around the tree and took off into the sky. Stuck was still aboard.
Absolutely delightful. I loved it. Wow. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Yeah, I tell you, it really helps with the pictures. You can really see. It's just that's a lovely, lovely story.
Well, I can do Know-It-All Pencil with the pictures too. The Know-It-All Pencil. Every year on his unbirthday, when Caspian awoke, Grandpa's special box was under his bed. Whatever his present was, Caspian knew it would not be anything he expected. As soon as he woke up, Caspian shook the box. Inside, something rattled and something slid. He opened the box and saw a yellow pencil looking up at him. He knew that seemed odd since the pencil didn't have eyes. But Caspian felt somehow the pencil could see him, his whole room, and maybe even further. A small pad of green paper sat next to the pencil, seeming to wait for words to be written. Caspian picked the pencil up. it wiggled. Although he didn't intend to move his hand as he held the pencil over the paper, it wrote the word apple. "This is the weirdest unbirthday present yet," whispered Caspian. He tucked the pencil and paper in his pocket and went downstairs. Grandpa walked into the kitchen grinning. "Did your know-it-all pencil write something yet?" Caspian nodded. "Apple." Grandpa smiled. "That sounds like a star adventure." On the way to school, Caspian saw a walker rolling down the street. He jumped into action and caught it. This must belong to someone who needs it. He pushed the walker up the hill toward his school. As he passed by the park, he saw a young woman sitting on a bench. Her leg was wrapped in a cast. "Oh, thank you," said the young woman. "When my walker rolled away, I couldn't chase it. How can I repay you?" "Maybe you can solve a mystery," said Caspian. "My grandpa gave me a know-it-all pencil this morning, and it wrote this note." He showed her the paper with the word apple scrawled on it. The young woman said, "I don't have any apples, but I can give you an orange." Caspian thanked her for the orange and walked toward the school. On the way, he met a man who said, "That's a beautiful orange." Caspian gave him the orange. The man said, "Let me trade you." He gave Caspian 2 bananas. A little further along, a child came out of her house and said, "I'll trade you a worm for those bananas." Caspian traded. The worm didn't like being carried, so Caspian put it down on the dirt next to the sidewalk. He bent down and found a dollar bill. He kept walking and happened upon a woman selling apples for $1 a bag. He bought a bag of apples. Now what will happen, he wondered. He got out the know-it-all pencil and the pad of paper. The pencil wiggled as it wrote, "Miss Susie." Miss Susie was his favorite cafeteria cook. Caspian went to see her before school started. She took 3 of the apples and started juggling. "How did you know I needed apples?" she asked. "My know-it-all pencil told me," said Caspian. Miss Susie laughed and juggled the apples higher. "What else does your pencil know?" asked Miss Susie. Again, Caspian held the know-it-all pencil to his pad of paper. It wrote the word star. Caspian looked up puzzled. Grandpa said this would be a star adventure. "I know what that means," said Miss Susie. She picked up a knife and cut the apple in half. "There's a star inside every apple." "Wow, that's amazing," Caspian said as he took a bite of the apple. He waited to see what else the pencil knew.